Hello, welcome to PlayStation Access. I'm Rob, and joining us is Dave.
Hello.
Dave, exciting news.
Oh, so exciting.
Keanu Reeves is in Cyberpunk 2077.
How on earth did they keep that secret?
It's quite incredible.
Wow. What an announcement.
I love Keanu Reeves, Dave.
I love Keanu Reeves,
I love
Rob.
Keanu Reeves so much.
I do.
I love
More.
Cyberpunk as well.
Me too.
And the fact those two things are together
makes me very happy.
It's incredibly exciting.
Yeah.
It's been revealed that Keanu Reeves is going to be playing none other than Johnny Silverhand.
Boo.
If you don't know why Dave is booing there, go and watch our tabletop series on Cyberpunk where Dave plays a character called Jimmy Mutiny,
Yes.
who is a big rival of Johnny Silverhand.
And this feels like a good place, Rob, to interject and say that you might not know, it's possible to not know, that Cyberpunk 2077 is a video game based on a tabletop RPG from years ago.
From the 80s.
From the 80s, called Cyberpunk 2020.
Yes.
And so Johnny Silverhand is a character from that tabletop RPG. He's part of the lore of Cyberpunk.
So it's not just a character that's sprung out of the ground for this video game.
No.
He already exists. He already has a backstory. He already has lore.
Exactly.
And so if you are excited about Keanu Reeves playing Johnny Silverhand, we have got 5 things that you need to know about Johnny Silverhand according to existing Cyberpunk lore.
Yes, exactly. And what's the first one, Rob?
The first one is that Johnny Silverhand is a rocker boy. Now,
yes.
A rocker boy is one of the many classes that you can play as in the original Cyberpunk 2020 tabletop game.
Yes.
And a rocker boy, well, you played a rocker boy in our tabletop series, Dave, so maybe you should explain to everyone what a rocker boy is.
I'll certainly try, and it's a slightly difficult concept, I guess, because you think of classes, you think of the stealthy class, and the techie class and whatever. And a rocker boy is essentially a kind of a leader, a charismatic changer of minds.
Yes.
Someone who starts uprisings, who incites people to action, a call to arms.
With extreme charisma, basically.
That's right. And as you might expect from the name Rocker Boy, often this takes the form of a musician.
Yes.
But it could be a street poet or some other kind of performer. Obviously, Johnny Silverhand is a musician. He's actually, I don't want to get ahead of myself, but he's in a band called Samurai.
Yes.
And so he is a kind of a leader of people and challenges the authority and Cyberpunk is a world full of corporations that have kind of taken over, and he challenges that authority or assumed authority.
Rebelling against the man through the medium of heavy metal rock music.
Exactly. It's a classic, isn't it?
Yes.
It's a classic.
The second thing you should know about Johnny Silverhand is that he has a cybernetic arm. I mean, the clue is in the name, really.
The clue is in the name, and also in the reveal of, in the cinematic trailer that revealed Keanu Reeves is playing Johnny Silverhand. It's quite clearly there.
Yes, a silver hand.
And this is, I guess not something. It's definitely not unusual in the world of Cyberpunk.
No.
It's all about augmentations and things like that. Although it is kind of interesting that his hand is just very proudly augmented. The upper levels of augments are kind of hidden, aren't they? And they're made to look like flesh. And, he very proudly wears his silver hand.
Well, it's the cause of quite a lot of political and social conflict in the lore of Cyberpunk, isn't it?
Yes,
just
true.
Augmentations and what part they play in society. And some people are against them. And
yeah, exactly.
the corporations have big stakes in the augmentation industry as well.
Very much so. What's number 3?
Number 3, so just delving into a little bit about Johnny Silverhand's musician backstory.
Yeah.
You mentioned he's the lead singer of a band called Samurai.
Yes.
And you may have noticed in the trailers that V, the lead character that you will play as in Cyberpunk 2077, is wearing a jacket with Samurai written on it.
Yeah. So Samurai are a band.
So
Johnny Silverhand is the lead singer, and obviously V is a fan.
Obviously.
Yes.
He's bought some merch.
Yeah, he has.
But more interesting is that there are even songs that Samurai and Johnny Silverhand have performed within the world of Cyberpunk, one of which is Chipping In, which you can actually hear.
Yeah, it's at the
trailer.
end of that cinematic trailer, I think, on when the release date reveal or something. You can hear Chipping In.
Yeah.
We don't know at this time if it is Keanu Reeves
That'd be
singing
amazing,
Chipping In.
wouldn't it?
But he is a musician in his own
Yeah.
right, which makes he's so perfect for Johnny Silverhand. It's unbelievable.
He must have been like their first choice. Like, should we just try and get Keanu Reeves?
Imagine if we could get Keanu. He'll never say yes, but imagine. But he might say yes.
And he just did
And
say
he did
yes.
say yes.
Why is Keanu Reeves just so perfect?
I
eh?
don't know.
It's the best.
He's something to aspire to.
Yes. Point number 4. And again, this is to do with Johnny Silverhand's backstory
Yes.
in the lore of Cyberpunk that already exists. Johnny Silverhand, there was like. Can you explain how the how the accompanying sort of stories and books relate to the 2020 tabletop game? Because obviously in tabletop you create your own stories,
Yes.
but there are still some kind of stories that went along with it.
Yeah, well, in the tabletop game, you will, play your own characters, but obviously there are other characters in the world, and Johnny Silverhand was one of those characters with his own story. And the lore of Cyberpunk goes that Johnny Silverhand attacked Arasaka HQ, which is in Night City, Arasaka being one of the giant corporations, in an attempt to end the, I think it's the 4th corporate war.
Right.
I mean, in this timeline, corporations, have armies and are massive and are warring amongst themselves. So Johnny Silverhand attacked Arasaka HQ to try and end this war and was killed by an assassin.
Well, supposedly killed.
Yes. Well, good point. By called Adam Smasher. This assassin, I think they're
cybernetic
called Full Borg
assassin,
which I think means he's like there's no humanity left. I guess he must have been a human once, and they just got rid of everything.
He's more machine now than man.
He is. I think he's
all machine.
All machine now. So Johnny Silverhand was shot by shotgun during the assault by this Adam Smasher, and his body was never recovered from Arasaka HQ, which was subsequently nuked. And so he was assumed to be vaporized.
Yes.
Now, the interesting thing, obviously, is that we're now in 2077, a good 50-odd years later for the events of the lore of sort of 2020. And I've read, I haven't seen this for myself, but I've read that in early gameplay trailers for Cyberpunk 2077, you could see graffiti on the wall that said, "Where's Johnny?" Perhaps kind of alluding to the fact that maybe he has been gone, for a long time.
Yeah, this famous old sort of rebel leader who went on a mission to destroy the man.
Yeah, exactly.
And was presumed dead, and everyone doesn't.
No
one knows
sad.
where he is. Everyone thinks he's dead.
And I guess maybe holding out some hope that in fact it was, he was alive all this time.
Yeah.
And now he is, of course, he is back.
Very much
alive.
alive.
He is alive. So assuming that they have stuck with that lore, I mean, I can't wait to find out what he's been doing for the past 50 years. And he looks good. He looks great.
He looks very good, doesn't he?
He looks very good. He looks like Keanu Reeves.
Our last point, again, just a little bit more insight into Johnny Silverhand's personality and backstory. Before he was a musician and a rocker boy, he was in the military.
Yes, he was.
Ex-military, and he deserted the military.
He did.
For reasons unknown.
Yeah.
I'm assuming he just got disillusioned with something.
Yeah.
Kind of like that, and I just can't.
What are we fighting for?
What are we fighting for?
Lots of thoughts, lots of deep thoughts.
Like that. And he was then subsequently embroiled in like a blackmail scandal involving a record label.
Yeah.
And
he basically turned his back on to snub one record label. He signed with another and became very famous.
Went solo. Released a hit album.
Exactly. And,
it's like, have some of that, military and bad record label.
That's right. So Johnny Silverhand, what we're saying, I guess what we should take away from this is he can handle himself.
Yes.
He knows about weaponry, and I mean, a lot of people in the Cyberpunk universe do, but he's, been trained, and God knows what he can do with that silver hand.
Lots of
terrifying things,
dangerous things.
Yeah.
So yes, those are 5 facts that exist about Johnny Silverhand in existing Cyberpunk lore, which give us a little insight into the character's personality, his backstory. He's this charismatic rebel leader who is against the man and is beloved by the people.
Exactly.
And Keanu Reeves, as we've said, is
basically
is the perfect
the
person to
perfect
play
fit.
that kind of man.
Yeah, it's insane.
So yeah, there you go. 5 quick things you need to know about Johnny Silverhand. Let us know in the comments if you are excited for Cyberpunk 27, if you're excited to play a game with Keanu Reeves in it.
Yeah.
What if could there possibly be? Of course you're excited about
Yeah.
it.
Are you alive? Then then that's it. That's good.
We are ridiculously excited about it. But yeah, let us know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss anything from the world of PlayStation.
People in Night City need me. They need something to believe in. They need something they can understand. That's what my music is all about. None of this Johnny Silverhand nonsense. That guy's a fake.
For the players.